Wait,
Four different
we
authors.
should know this, please.
There's the
We only need the
Elohimus, the
Whoa!
Jaws. What?
Backtrack 15 seconds.
Okay, Genesis, the book of Genesis.
Oh, it was written by 4 people. Okay, now
Four
rewind.
different authors.
Keep going.
Four different documents put together. Right, good. He's like looking at me like, okay. And we see that even though, in a way, their views of God is slightly different, we find that their portrayal of God is constant.
You didn't finish listening before.
Yeah.
Elo.
There's Elohimus, the Jaws, the priestly something, and then the Deuteronomus. Deuteronomus. Gosh. And they're written, I want to say, a couple hundred years after, between, I really don't remember the time of the spans between. But we find that they're saying of God, and they're saying of human meaning, the universe being created, and the meaning of what it is to be human, and the meaning of basically our purpose is almost identical. And it's pretty weird, because like when I was looking through it, like the first thing my Bible teacher would tell me was like, okay, check for patterns, because we actually had to read this in the Hebrew. It sucked. It was terrible. Okay, but we read this, and he said, okay, look for patterns. And it was pretty weird, because when you're looking at the text, you find that the Jews, numbers were important to the Jews. And so you see different occurrences of the number 3. There's the Trinity. And then you see there are 7 days.
Well.
And then there are 7. The funny thing about 7 is that you see this number come out so many times in Genesis. There are 7 days. If you look in the Hebrew text, the first verse has 7 words in it. And then if you look into the second verse, it has 14 words in it. 7 times 2. And if you look and you see the word earth, you see it come out 21 times. 7 times 3.
First verse has 10 words in it.
Hebrew,
bro.
Oh, yeah, I counted it too. I was like, oh.
I did count it though.
Creation is, in Jewish text, creation is chopped up into, the rabbis separated into 7 basic paragraphs. And you look at it, and the 7th paragraph has 35 words. 7 times 5. And I could keep going on with 7. But God, the word for God, comes, Elohim, shows up 7 times in the creation story. The word, it was so, the phrase, comes up 7 times. And it's not accident, it's actually on purpose, because, like I said, numbers do mean importance to the Jews. And so they would always repeat things, and be very careful on how many times they repeated things to make a point. And then, okay, you have 3, you have 7, so I guess the next thing is, anyway, as people ask, there must be some 10s. 3 plus 7. Good. So, but yes, there are 10s. The word to make, bara, shows up 10 times. According to their kinds, shows up 10 times. God said shows up 10 times. 3 referring to people, 7 to referring to creation. And let there be shows up 10 times. 3 for heaven, 7 for earth. And so, why am I saying this? What's the point of all this different patterns and stuff like that? Because we find that the universe, as we see it, we look at this, many times we scientists of our day throw this down. They said, oh, they were uneducated. They were just poets. They were nothing more than Middle Eastern poets. They didn't really know anything. And I guess I did my research, and we find that the universe as we know it, thank you, Sanj. The universe as we know it you made me say that, has over 100 that many galaxies.
That's 100 billion.
100 million galaxies. We found that in each galaxy there is over 100 million billion suns. Like asleep, guys, I'm telling you. It kills you. And we also find there's also 100 billion black holes.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, how do you know that?
You researched it. Can you see all the black holes? Jinx, yummy,
Scientists
said
can.
Who the scientists know everything? They clearly don't.
Maybe you should go in once and tell us.
Go, Alex.
Good.
That's not funny. I can't believe you have to live with
And
that.
so we look at this and they say, oh yeah, we can totally explain everything. And we have this basis of what we call Newtonian understanding, which is it's like this. Okay, let's say this is cruel, but okay. Let's say Justin has a car.
You did that
Justin has a car.
Is that some random person's Bible? Not even
That was so funny,
Let's say
Patrick.
that's Justin's car, guys.
You're not an artist either. What did Patrick say?
It's
All the talents went to my family.
okay.
Just kidding.
So let's just say Justin has a car, and the car is going 20 miles per hour. Terrible. You guys can clearly see I
It
feel
looks like a
bad.
hat. A hat.
And here's
It
Stan.
looks like a domino sign. Domino seesaw.
Stan angered Justin from trying to get away, and you just see Justin driving his car straight towards Stan.
I can actually see the Label them.
This must have been last week.
And you see Stan, and Stan's standing there, and so instead of being smart, Stan instead decides to be Stan, and so instead of moving out of the way, Stan wasn't Stan.
What is that meaning?
So instead of moving out of the way, Stan instead decides
Remember, we both have cars and you're a person.
Stan instead decides to run the other way. And let's say Stan reaches a speed of,
Why are you bringing math into this? Or physics? Oh my gosh, I hate
oh my gosh,
I left it.
thinking is so hard.
It really is. It takes a lot of effort.
So if he reaches at that speed, and he takes
Still.
a look back, what distance is a car from him?
You tell me, you're the one who likes thinking.
Yeah.
10.
Guys.
10.
10.
10. Okay, thank you. Somebody went to kindergarten.
When a force comes force, you subtract.
This
I thought back here
should
on
have been the other
force.
way. Oh,
Patrick taught me.
this is what we call Newtonian understanding. That everything that has a cause must have an effect. Okay. And Isaac Newton came up with this. That's his name. And it's basically, if we can find out what's A, we can find out what's B, and surely we can figure out what's C. It's this idea that we can predict everything that's going on around us. Because the universe is predictable. It follows these simple rules, and as long as we find out these simple rules, we know what's going to happen next. They just found this out like 2 years ago. Before that, they thought there was only this ring of those.
Galaxies? I don't understand how they can see all the galaxies. Can't we only see like a certain light years away though?
You can measure it because of the universe.
How many of those are actually like exploded by now?
We don't know. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. There's a lot that we don't know.
Okay. We're on the same page here then.
And see, the universe. When we look at the universe actually proves this theory wrong. When we look at the universe, we find that there's so much that we don't know there's so much that we can't predict. For instance, they figured out that the right number. Okay. There's a galaxy called Andromeda, and it's heading straight for ours, the Milky Way. Not that many miles per hour. 200,000.
Andromeda. Are they trying to look for an android that will destroy us?
Accumulate later.
Probably too much. We find that is coming right at us. They also found out that in the case of stars, they have what they call neutron stars. Neutron stars are hyperdensing, I think that was what they called it. And it basically they collapse within themselves and they get really, really condensed and tight. And each neutron star contains the star. 100 million.
Cute, right?
I'm just kidding.
Of energy. The size is a teaspoon. They found that out probably only like probably within the last decade. There's a lot that they don't know, but the weirdest thing that probably flips out these scientists the most is light. I'm going to use him again. Okay, so let's say Justin.
Please don't kill my family.
This time Justin's not in the car. He's actually the one outside the car.